Thank you very much, Ben, and good morning, sir. We'll talk to one of the candidates running for the U.S. Senate, and this is he, Jay Friedheim. Thank you very much for coming in. We'll be speaking with him in just a moment and find out where he stands on the issues. Welcome back. It is 6:09, and we're going to be doing something a little different this campaign season. We have candidates coming in every day leading up to the September 23rd primary, and they'll be participating in our version of 20 questions. The candidates are only allowed to answer yes or no. And joining us this morning is our very first candidate to experience this new thing we're trying here on our morning show, and it's Jay Friedheim, a Republican candidate for the United States Senate. Thank you very much, sir, for coming in this morning.
Thank you for inviting me.
And we really appreciate you are participating in this. And of course, after this segment, we'll be talking with Mr. Friedheim at length about some of the issues. But right now, it's just yes or no, our best that you can about that. Are you ready, sir?
Yes.
Okay, let's start with our first question. Should we pull out of Iraq?
Not without securing the freedoms of the people there.
You could leave it there in the middle.
Okay.
Should we set a timetable for withdrawal from Iraq?
No.
Was going there in the first place the right thing to do?
Yes.
Should abortion be outlawed?
No.
Should women be allowed to have partial birth abortions?
It's a medical decision.
Should women be allowed over-the-counter access to the morning after pill?
Medical decision.
Should handguns and automatic weapons be outlawed?
No.
Should Honolulu build a mass transit system?
Yes.
Should the Jones Act be repealed?
No.
And of course, we'll get more on that a little bit later.
My specialty.
Yes. Should same-sex marriage be legalized?
No.
Should civil unions be legalized?
Yes.
Should the estate death tax be permanently appealed?
Repealed. Is that what you mean?
Yes, repealed.
No.
Okay. Thank you for that. Should the Social Security system be overhauled?
No.
Should the Social Security retirement age be raised to 70, 75?
No.
Okay. Do you support personalized Social Security accounts?
No.
Should the Medicare system be overhauled?
Prescription drugs.
Should we have a balanced budget amendment?
Yes.
Do you support the president's domestic eavesdropping program?
No.
Should nonviolent drug offenders get jail time?
No.
Is illegal immigration one of the biggest challenges facing the United States right now?
Illegal immigration?
Yes.
No, it's not the biggest challenge.
And should immigrants be arrested as felons?
No.
And unfortunately, we have a lot more questions we want to get to, but we're going to have to get to them a little bit later. And coming up after the commercial break, we will be talking to you at length, sir. Mahalani Richardson will be asking you a few of the questions I'm sure that you want to get into more in depth on.
Right.
But thank you very much for participating in our 20 question segment. You mind hanging out with us for a little bit?
No, and life is not about yes or no answers.
Absolutely not, sir. We're just trying to give us a quick, brief overview of your opinions. And right now, it's time to get Ben Gutierrez's opinion on our weather situation. Ben?
Is that a yes or no question?
Thanks a lot again. And joining us again is Republican candidate for the U.S. Senate, Jay Friedheim. Thanks again for joining us this morning and for answering those yes and no questions. Now you can answer some of those expanded questions. You're a maritime attorney. What makes you qualified to be a U.S. Senator?
Well, I am qualified because of my training and experience. I've been involved in doing a lot of things to help improve the state. I recently, on behalf of Justice Ron Moon and Anthony Kennedy, lobbied through the greatest change in the judiciary in the history of our states and statehood. We've created a certiorari-based Supreme Court, and I was primarily responsible for making that happen. It just happened this last July.
You've run in public service before, but you were unsuccessful. So what makes you think that people would actually vote for you?
Abraham Lincoln got elected to one office, and he ran a lot. And not that I'm Abraham Lincoln, but throwing your hat in the ring, throwing your hat into the ring and jumping into the arena, that's important. I represented Ralph Nader, and you know, it's not just the right to vote, it's the right to be a candidate, to go out there and run some ideas up the flagpole. I'm interested in a national homeland service commitment, and I'm going to promote that. And I think that running for office, trying to create a situation where everybody in America is helping out, a commitment to help out, not just a volunteer thing. You know, it was volunteerism that created America and made us strong, but it's going to be an obligatory commitment that's going to keep America on top.
So is it accurate to say that you're actually running for U.S. Senate to promote your idea, and do you think that you could actually win in the primary?
So clearly in the primary. Unfortunately, the leading opposition has taken ill, but I have
What about in a general if you actually got there?
Well, that time will tell. And look at you look at the morning paper today, see how this young upstart is treating this great old human being and leader in our community, I think that there's a possibility.
Let's talk about the Jones Act. You weren't able to say yes or no to Dan's question in terms of repealing the Jones Act. Why not?
Okay, the word is cabotage. Cabotage. The audience should say the word cabotage. It means to protect the coastwise trade. Cabotage laws are very important for our merchant marine and for our national security. We need to have a strong merchant marine. But it protects the coastwise trade. We're a non-contiguous state. It unfairly burdens us. We could mend, not end, the Jones Act. And actually, the Jones Act is very important for protecting national security. Here it creates a 3% burden on everything that we purchase. And where's that money going? To this great institution, Matson. Matson has been sucking money out of our economy for decades, generations. And it's time that if we mended the Jones Act, everybody in the state would benefit, with the exception of this shipping company that benefits from this virtual monopoly. We could merely alter the right of foreign ships to touch port in Hawaii and then go to one other state in America. And it would reduce the cost of living in Hawaii by 3% like that. And just think about it, peeling 3% off the economy. We would experience a huge financial boom in this place.
One last question. You talked about abortion, and you couldn't say yes or no in terms of should it be illegalized. You actually said it should be a medical decision. Why not yes or no? Can't you just say, I support a woman's right to a choice, or I'm against abortion?
Much of life is not really simple, and what goes on inside of your body has to do with you, your doctor, perhaps your religious leader, your family. There are limits to where the state should creep into our lives. And our bedrooms, our bodies, those are places they need to stay away.
Isn't that a choice then?
It is about choice. It's about respecting women. It's about respecting what a woman's rights are. If you read Roe v. Wade, it says that as the fetus approaches viability, the state's interests increase. It's a highly charged issue. And those people with strong feelings, God bless them, they should keep those feelings, but they should apply them to themselves, not their neighbors.
All right, Jay Friedheim, thank you so much Friedheim, thank you so much for joining us.
Pleasure. And I'll bet your uncle is very proud of you. The CJ was the
Well,
greatest
thank you
person
so
in
much.
the state.
We'll be right back after the break.
Okay.
It is 6:21. Thanks for joining us. Thanks a lot again.
Thank you.